Gold just realized its biggest yearly gain since 2010, and Wall Street says it's going even higher. Heading into 2025, JP Morgan and Goldman Sachs are both forecasting $3,000 an ounce gold and paltry returns for stocks. Call the proud Americans of the Patriot Gold Group today before it's too late. Mention the Still Report, and you'll always get best-in-class service from Patriots protecting patriots. Call 888-753-1647 for a free investor guide today. Patriot Gold Group is Consumer Affairs' top-rated gold IRA dealer 7 years in a row. Call 888-753-1647.
Hi, and it's been a while since we've done one of these together, but prior to getting into the topic at hand, I want to reach out and say we are continually in prayer for the families of the 67 people who lost their lives in the tragic accident that happened over the Reagan Airport. And we don't really want to talk about that, but I
Say
say
something about it.
something about the situation. It is just very, very sad. And we will continue to pray for the families of those people. Right now, what we have going on is the RFK Jr. and Kash Patel are testifying or in their confirmation hearing, I guess, with the Senate. And once again, the Democrats are proving themselves to be exactly what their mascot is, when that is a jackass. They are all showing themselves to be who they are. They are hypocrites that we know. They are liars, and they will stop at nothing. They will lie about anything and everything just to get a soundbite to the media, to get people in normal, regular, everyday people to buy into their stuff. We know that they have absolutely no intention of voting for any of the people that President Trump has put forward, nominated for these positions. But so they want to bring them down. They want to make sure that they don't get confirmed. President Trump may have to do recess appointments. I know that he talked about that. That is a possibility. But the Democrats, like I said, are showing who they are. And I am proud of Kash Patel for calling out Adam Schiff and saying that is an outright lie, and you know it. I am proud of Tulsi Gabbard for pushing back on what these people are saying. I am proud of RFK Jr. You know, not only are these people pushing back on the lies and the whatever that's being said about them, but they are also giving us a lot of truth bombs. I mean, they are going through, all three of these candidates are going through information and situations that actually happened. And I do appreciate some of the GOP senators for giving them questions or feeding, giving them an opportunity to say what they want to say.
What was especially interesting to me was when RFK pounced back on Elizabeth Warren, who accused him of taking money from the big drug companies. I wanted to pull my hair out. Immediately on the internet, it started surfacing the amount of money that Elizabeth Warren has taken, which was $2 million per year from the big drug companies.
Yeah.
Because anything that President Trump does, any decision he makes, has to be lampooned, derided, discredited, marginalized, vilified.
I want to know if you will commit right now that not only will you not go to work for drug companies, you won't go to work suing the drug companies and taking your rake out of that while you're a secretary and for 4 years after. It's just...
I'll commit to not taking any fees from drug companies while I'm secretary.
No. I'm asking about fees from suing drug companies. Will you agree not to do that?
You're asking me to not sue drug companies.
No,
Senator,
those
you're
efforts
asking me not to
are
sue
misfortune.
pharmaceutical
I am
companies.
not. My
Yeah, you
question
are.
is stop
That's exactly what
enriching.
you're doing.
And when he started in with Senator Bernie Sanders, and at first he says, you've taken all this money from farm. You see Bernie first going, no, 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 and then went, well, okay. And he tried to explain it away. But one of the things that I've noticed, Bill, is I have seen what I call run of the mill, which is just normal people like us, normal Democrats on X saying things like this. I voted Democrat my whole life. I have always supported Democrats. I voted for, whatever their senator was in that time. Never again will I vote for any of these people. They have shown themselves to be who they are. It wasn't enough that they tried to ruin Brett Kavanaugh's life. Well, let's go back to Clarence Thomas. The Democrats have done nothing but come against people with lies and innuendos and false accusations again and again and again and again, and it has got to stop. It must stop. And I'm telling you right now, and I've said this before, I'll say it again. There is a principle in God's law that says you reap what you sow. You all think you're getting away with it. You think you've got it made. You think, oh, well, all I can do is put the lie out there and people will eat it up. But I'm telling you right now, this stuff is going to come back on you like a boomerang. You are going to see the lies that you have been telling about other people boomerang back on you. And case in point is Elizabeth Warren accusing RFK Jr. of taking money from Big Pharma. She's the one that took money from Big Pharma. Bernie Sanders took more money from Big Pharma than anybody else. And in the end of that questioning, he couldn't deny it. And Kash Patel is defending himself against the lies about J6, against the lies about this. And thank God for Senator Cruz, who asked him, who is in charge of accepting the help from the National Guard? Oh, that would be Nancy Pelosi. Well, that was Nancy Pelosi's job. She's in charge of the Capitol Police. She's in charge of that. So finally, some of these truths are getting out there.
And it's they think they're getting away with it, especially with Robert F. Kennedy, who is not very well spoken because of a speech impediment. And so they can this is perfect for the way they do things. They throw these insinuations at them and then hope they'll stick. And then when the recipient of those insinuations tries to respond, they run over them and throw another one. And so the effect is that you never hear the defendant's side of their attack. And so the sound bites that play on TV just show the attack as though there's no proper response to it. And they just unfairly pummeled Robert F. Kennedy with that just because of his speech impediment. He couldn't get the words out fast enough to interrupt them. And it's just despicable.
But it's just like Nancy Pelosi explained a long time ago. It's called the wraparound smear. That's exactly what they do. They tell a lie about somebody, and then they feed the information to the press, and then they can say, well, CNN reported on this, which is not, they started the lie in the first place. They are the ones that fed CNN. But speaking of CNN, Jim Acosta is gone, baby. And Chuck Todd has just been fired from MSNBC. So your stuff is not working. The media is failing. The Democrats are failing.
It's taken a long time to develop, but it finally, the slow churning has come because greatest difference in Trump support in the past during this last election cycle has been amongst the 20 to 29-year-olds. That's generational. Those people, now that they've seen the light, they aren't going to go back, and they've still got 60 years of life to live. And so the Democrats are really screwing themselves now by however they're doing it. They're influencing negative the younger people. Trump's getting them.
And I want to say something about two lies that I have seen out there, not lies that people have said, lies that are coming out of the House of Representatives, lies that they are putting out on Twitter. Then one of them is that President Trump froze hiring for the ATC. And that's why they only had they were supposed to have two people in the tower. They only had one person in the tower. And that's one of the reasons why the crash happened. And I want to say this. No, he did not. That is a lie. You are lying, liar, lies. And I'm tired of it. I'm tired of this. And people are finally beginning to push back on it. First of all, if he did a freeze on hiring, guess what? No hiring freeze pertains to air traffic controllers. Doesn't pertain to them. So even if there was a freeze on hiring, it wouldn't pertain to them. If you knew anything, you should know that. And if you're a member of the House, you should know that. The other lie that there's
And Trump's only been in office 9 days anyway, 10 days anyway, so he couldn't have affected hiring.
right. So, but the other lie that they're telling out there is that President Trump did away with Medicaid. No, he did not. Stop lying.
That's just another example of a lie they throw out there. It's immediately disputed. Everybody knows that that's the third rail of politics, that you never, ever talk about doing something like that. But, to a certain percentage of the population are going to go, what? I'm going to lose my Medicaid because of Trump?
It was thrown back in my face by somebody, and I was like, no, that is not true. I mean, it's the lie gets out there, and people believe it, and they grab hold of it. But I am happy to see Kash Patel, etc., pushing back and throwing it right back in their face and giving them facts about them, about what they have done.
Now, Bobby Kennedy has done a great job, an
Yes.
absolutely great job. He is the Trump's biggest asset, maybe, well, equal of Kash Patel. And if he gets in, it's pulling in somebody who was a Democrat. His family's been Democrat all their lives.
That's right. That's right. And he is laying out facts and giving numbers and, just all of this stuff. And we can fact check in real time. Sooner or later, the media is going to have to catch up with the truth. But these hearings, they're just, I really just want to throw a brick at TV.
Well, and that's having its effect because they're self-destructing, and that's why their news reporters are getting axed because they don't have any audience.
Right. And I just want to say this to the Republicans. We say this all the time. We tell you this all the time. When are you going to listen to us? You better vote for every single person that President Trump has nominated. You just better vote for them. I don't want to hear all these. Bill Cassidy, what is your problem? You are believing the same lies that the Democrats are telling about people. Get in line. Just vote for them and let them go through. Bobby Kennedy, I kept dying for, and Kash Patel as the head of the FBI. Come on now, let's go. Let's do these things. I'm just so tired of the Republicans playing the same game. But
Well, they're just the bought out ones.
exactly right. Exactly right. And I still get tickled every time I hear RFK Jr. telling Bernie Sanders, you took more farm than anybody. And if you watch the whole thing, in the end, Bernie kind of goes, well, okay. It's kind of like, well, I'm not going to, yeah, it was from individual people, not from, whatever. I mean, come on. He's just trying to pull the wool over your eyes. And anyway, I have been in prayer about this for a while now. We all have. We just need to continue to pray, and we need to pray for these airplane incidences that they figure out what the issues are and they correct them so it doesn't happen again. And I just want to pray for all those families because this has got to be horrific. There were a lot of young people on that airline, and so we don't want to forget that. But really, the lying, and I've said this a million times. I'm going to say it a million times more. It doesn't say in the Bible, thou shalt not lie. It goes deeper. It says, thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbor, which is exactly what these Democrats are doing. You're bearing false witness. You're not just lying, you're coming against somebody. And it's kind of sad because Bobby Kennedy said in that hearing at one point, you all used to all be my friends. Used to be my friends. So I think maybe his eyes are being opened up to who these people
It's just the power of big pharma, big pharma money. It's incredible. When I first looked at that first scene of everybody all lined up, it's like I could just see the big pharma money on the left-hand side of the screen. It was overwhelming.
And I want to say something because I know this is true. Our country, government, whatever, went from basically, and this is what they were doing, human trafficking with those planes. Human trafficking, bring human trafficking, to deporting illegal aliens with the same planes. Our government managed to find, so far, 75,000 of the 300,000 children that went missing in the idiot administration. One thing we've talked about is they knew where they were. Come on, Trump's administration did not find those children in 2 days. They knew where they were. And so my assumption is, we were talking about this, some whistleblowers came forward as soon as the Trump administration got on board and said, here,
Go look here.
go look here. And
It must be horrendous. It tickles even their conscience.
oh, absolutely. And I mean, I don't fault them. They would, they did whatever. But my point is, they knew where they were. There's no way they've discovered where they were in 2 days. I don't care how good they are. They knew where they were, and they're righting a wrong. And so my prayer is that they will be able to find as many of them that are still alive, with children that were missing. So
I want to say something else on a different topic, and that's the Israel topic and the hostage things. In my spirit, this is a huge mistake. They're they're making it during any conflict hostages much more valuable now, worth a million, $10 million. Who knows how much it's worth to them? I mean, uh, they return one hostage and they get 20 or 30 of their guys back. I mean,
yeah.
I know it's a terrible situation for the families of these people, but this is not going to turn out well in the long run.
Well, let's just hope that something happens to change that. I understand what you're saying, and I don't have an answer for that. But in the balance of things, in 10 days, 10 days, 10
Yeah.
days, so much is better. So many things are going in the right direction, and so many things are being corrected, and God bless anybody who's willing to serve in President Trump's cabinet. But I want to say one more thing. Hakeem Jeffries has called for violence in the streets to fight President Trump's agenda. Now, that's just wrong by anybody's measure, that he would actually call for violence in the streets. It's horrible that they would do that. It's just like when Maxine Waters said, get in their face, it's just horrible stuff that these people are doing. So, well, however, we are still excited that President Trump was elected, that he was inaugurated, that things are going better. And, we trying to keep up with it all is like drinking from a fire hose. There's so many things that he has done, male and female, and all this. At least we don't have a healthy human service person who is a man who thinks he's a woman. Just come on, please. And all of those things, God is in his heaven, and all these things will be worked out. God bless President Trump. God bless his cabinet. And may God have mercy on and bless America.